Hello there. I'm Jerry Pierce, speaking for the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. I've got a question for you. How many of you have just purchased a brand new boat, like this one, and it's parked in your backyard, waiting to be launched on one of the many lakes of Nevada? You know, it sounds like you're looking forward to many days of enjoyment for you and your family. However, have you thought about how safe your boat will be once it's launched in the water? Well, that's what this program's all about. To let the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary help you keep your boat safe for you and your family. I'll be back in a moment to tell you more about the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle, the circle that helps this circle. It starts when we recycle trash at home. It's completed when we buy products made from recycled materials. Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
This is Public Education Officer Bob Summers.
Hi.
Bob, what is the Coast Guard Auxiliary?
Well, the Coast Guard Auxiliary sprang from World War II, and at one time, and for a long time, it was the reserve. Then, several years ago, they've turned it into the civilian component of the U.S. Coast Guard Regular.
What does it do?
Well, mostly we're involved with educating the community and doing most of the boating safety courses for the Coast Guard. We also do patrols on our small lakes around here. They certainly do patrols on the big lakes and in the ocean. We look now for anything that is not within the ordinary on sea, particularly on our coast and our larger ships. Out here on Pyramid Lake and Lake Tahoe and Lahontan, we do mostly rescue work. We pull people in that have run out of gas. If they run into something or each other, we come to their rescue. We're fortunate. We generally have a doctor aboard. We've done, in the last couple of months, several rescues that required first aid. And then education, and we do member training. And that's generally our function.
So how many classes do you have?
We run in this area 13 classes a year. First Saturday of every month. We do a boat show in February, and at the boat show, we'll generally run 2 classes right after that to get the people involved. The law now says that anybody born after January of 1983 must take a boating course and must pass that course to boat in intrastate waters, which means up here, Lake Tahoe.
And if you have a boat, would it be advisable to take a course in the auxiliary?
You bet. We're teaching a course now that shows that those people that do take boating courses are safer on the water, have less accidents, and if they have an accident or an incident in the water, they handle it quicker and better and safer. So a boating course is mandatory in terms of sense, mandatory if you're under 21 by the state, and just good common sense.
I understand that if you have a boat, safety is the big thing, right?
It sure is. People believe that you can handle boats and handle things on the water much like you do on a land, much like driving a car. The differences generally get people in trouble.
Well, do you suggest that people with or without a boat join the auxiliary?
You bet. We'll take in anyone because there's lots of expertise and we like diversity. If you can teach, we'll take you in and have you teach. If you can inspect, you can do that. And another advantage would be if you don't have a boat, we have lots of members that do. Our boats range from 18 feet to 65 feet, and you can get a lot of good hands-on education by going out with our seasoned Coast Guard folks.
But how many members do you have?
We've got 53 in this flotilla, and 24, 25 are active and do all of the education and vessel examinations, member training, and the rest support us in other ways. They'll come in and help us now and again, or they'll give us equipment, or they'll give us buildings to teach in, and lots of things.
I understand that you can go out on any one of these lakes, take your boat, and learn a lot about it.
Yes, you can take on the water classes. We offer that. The Coast Guard has suggested that they give us orders. We're under their insurance, and we can take separate groups out and show them how to run either their boats, and we'll go on their boats and do the training, or they can train on our boat. What we really like to do, what we're trying to set up, is we'd like to have family members, male, female, dad, mom, and the kids, or just all females, because our experience suggests that the females frequently get stuck with doing things on the boat that they're not qualified to do because the man is supposed to do it. I'm not being sexist, but that seems to be the way that it runs. And so we'd like to teach the women how to run a boat, so if the man gets hurt, gets sick, gets dumped off the boat, they know how to get home.
Good idea. How do you join the Coast Guard Auxiliary?
Well, you can give us a call. Our state number is 852-5557. Give us a call. I'll send you all the information. Joining is relatively simple, doesn't hurt a bit, and doesn't require a lot of your time. You give us the amount of time you can afford to give us. If you can't give us a lot of time, whatever you give us is still valuable. It costs $40 a year. For that $40, you get access to 700 separate courses, not all just on the water or water-related courses, but business courses, information system courses, college courses. All of that is free after you join.
Well, again, if I have a 14-foot boat, am I qualified?
To do what? Yes.
To be safe.
Yes, you can be safe in a 14-foot boat, but, you know, life jackets become very important. They are to be worn, not to be stuffed under the seat or used for a footstool. And you have to be a bit more careful in a smaller boat than you do a larger boat because they tip over easily. They get swamped, generally a little more difficult to maneuver.
Are life jackets imperative for everybody in the boat?
Well, yes. It's not legally imperative. You do have to have a life jacket on your boat for every person that's on your boat, but you're not required yet to wear them. Now, life jackets don't do a lot of good unless they're on the person, and they are extremely difficult to put on in the water, almost impossible. You can do it. So you have to wear them. Well, we don't mandate wearing them yet on most boats, but if you wear them, you're safer, and like they say throughout the Coast Guard, they float, you don't, so wear them.
I understand you have a slogan, the Coast Guard Auxiliary slogan.
Yes, when we talk about education and vessel examinations and anything really on the water, we say get it from the source, the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. We're there, we do it daily, we're trained especially for that kind of action, and so it's just common sense in my opinion. Get it from the source, the Coast Guard.
Thank you, Bob. That was Bob Summers,
the Public Education Officer of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. We'll meet some of the class members of the Auxiliary right after this message.
Hello, I'm Senator Reed. We live in an amazing country. We have the oldest and most successful democratic government in the history of the world. Every year we hold various forms of elections, allowing us to select our own leaders in government. And voting makes this all possible. Our founding fathers built this country on every citizen's right to vote, and we all must exercise our right. If you aren't registered, contact the Register of Voters in your community and register today.
What is your name? You're one of the classmates here taking the instructions from Bob Summers.
Right.
And what is your name?
Howard Peregrine.
Well, Howard, why are you taking this class?
Well, to learn something new and different.
Do you own a boat?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. How big a boat is it?
28 foot.
Oh, that's a nice size.
Twin diesel, supercharged Volvo Pentas, 180 gallons of fuel.
Wow. Well, anyway, this class does help you.
Yes, it does. A lot of new things.
And how long have you been taking it?
How long have I been in the Coast Guard Auxiliary?
Yeah. How
About
long?
22 years, 22.
Oh, that long.
Yeah.
And you're still learning.
Of course.
And who's this young lady over here?
That's Barbara. That's my wife.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
And you're learning too from the class.
I'm right. That's right. Very interesting.
And how many classes do you intend to attend?
Oh, I don't know how many we've attended. You know,
But you always learn something.
always, yes.
Good.
Always something new to learn.
Well, it's good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
Hi, what is your name?
Mike Seawriter.
And what is your reason for taking this class?
This is a required class to be crew. We have to take it every year.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
And where are you from?
We're from Alameda, California.
Alameda,
Yeah.
California, my favorite spot.
Right.
My favorite state, I should say. That's where I'm from.
Ah.
And how big a boat do you have?
I have a 40-foot, well, I did have until last month, and I just sold it. We're in the process of buying another one.
Well, sounds good. Where do you plan to take your boat, or have you taken it?
Well, we patrol the Bay Area, out in the Bay, the bridges and stuff. We do a lot of that. And we have a small boat. We do some of the lakes, Lake Berryessa.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Have you been on any of the lakes up here?
not up here, no. Have not been up here.
And
Well,
who is
Lake Tahoe, but not patrolling, but we've been at Lake Tahoe, yeah.
And who is this young lady?
This is my wife, Lucy.
How do you do?
Hi.
How do you like it up here?
We love it up here. It's very nice. We came up here, gambled a little, so I guess we're supporting your economy up here.
Oh, well, that's good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here.
And we have another classmate here. What is your name?
My name is Dennis Hennings
And where are you from?
from Reno Sparks area. I actually live in Sparks.
Why do you find this class of the auxiliary interesting?
It's required as part of the crew and part of being a team manager in situations. So it's required by the Coast Guard, and I want to be part of a crew and a coxswain eventually, and go out on patrols and hopefully help people that get themselves into trouble. And you got to get trained yourself before you can help others.
That tells it all.
That pretty much does.
In other words, safety is the big word.
Absolutely.
So it's required to join this class, part of the auxiliary, to learn how to be safe.
It's one of the courses. There's several of them you have to take. There's navigation, there's patrol, there's search and rescue, there's communications, there's seamanship, and some other things you have to do before you can get qualified to actually really be able to function within the Coast Guard. If you want to be operational, if you don't want to be operational, there's other areas you can go into where you don't have to do that. There's all kinds of things you can do in the Coast Guard. They can always use more people, male and female, young and old. And I'm getting ready to retire here shortly, and I hope to be even more active once I retire. It's another activity I can do in retirement to keep me active and healthy and helping others and give something back to the community.
You're too young to retire.
Well, it doesn't mean I'm retiring from life. I don't have one foot in the grave yet.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You've told it all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And here is one of the members of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Your name, sir?
Ken Messenger.
And you obviously know all about the auxiliary.
I don't know all about it. I've been in it about a year.
You're sort of new then.
Yes, I am. But I'm qualified crew now. And it's just all a big adventure.
And it pays to take these classes to qualify you, right?
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah.
And how many classes have you been in?
Oh, I'd say at least a half a dozen.
And how often do you take these classes?
Whenever they're available.
Do you suggest other boat members sign up to the auxiliary?
Yes, I would. It's good for gaining knowledge, safety.
That seems to be the word.
Safety?
Safety.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah. And where are you from?
I'm actually from Southern California, but I live here in Reno.
Good place.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's nice.
Well, let's go over here to this very attractive young lady who is.
Well, now you're my favorite person here.
Oh, here's a young lady who is part of the Coast Guard Auxiliary.
Yes.
And your name?
Cheryl Emerson.
Where are you from?
Well, from Arizona, but I live here in Reno now.
What part of Arizona?
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale. I worked there in Safford years ago at a radio station.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I prefer the weather here in the summertime, though.
In fact, I was in Safford, Arizona, back during World War II.
I wasn't.
Well, enough of that. Let's talk about the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary.
What would you like to know?
What do you find interesting about these classes?
The knowledge, mostly. When I first joined the auxiliary, it was because I wanted to buy a boat, and I didn't know anything about it, and I thought this was a great place to learn, and just joining it gives me the opportunity to take all the classes and be a part of that.
Does it really help you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you suggest that other people, regardless of whether they have a boat or not, join up?
You bet. Yes, I joined before I had a boat, so I think it makes me a better boat owner now.
Good. How big a boat do you have?
Well, we have a 22-foot Catalina sailboat and a 16-foot Hobie Cat and a couple of personal watercraft.
You have a fleet.
We could. Yes.
Okay. Well, nice meeting you.
Thank you.
And keep on being safe.
Thank you very much.
Remember, the Coast Guard Auxiliary holds safety checks on a regular basis. So have one of the members of the Coast Guard Auxiliary check your boat free. For dates and times, call this number, 852-5557. The number again, 852-5557. This is Jerry Pierce, reminding you to get it from the source, the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary.